Hi, everyone, and welcome to the third edition or episode of Heroes of Halftime. Today, we have a very special guest. He is one of the seasoned players of the national team, even in clubs. He also is the founder of the Sevens Football League, our very own Anton del Rosario. Hello, Anton.
Hey, how's it going?
And then also, I have a very dear friend with us. I'd like to interview him also because he's been very active in the football community. He is the manager, a player, and I don't know,
Water boy.
water boy of Luntian, Mr.
Right.
Johann Casal.
Hey guys.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
It's hot.
Feeling hot. Yeah.
It's really hot, right?
Right. It's
And
crazy.
you can't get out
man.
there.
Yeah, exactly. So
So-
I hope everybody's cool right now. Got some aircon, you know?
Anton,
Yeah.
I want to talk about you first before we go into because I really am very curious about the league, the successful Sevens football league that you organized. I know that your father and your brother were your idol, like they were big influencers. How did it all start? I mean, I know that you had passion for football ever since you were 6. Is that correct?
Well, it all started in the Bay Area, San Francisco area. Born and raised out there. I ended up actually moving out here when I was 15 years old. Growing up out in the States, the first thing they stick you in is sports out there as kids, you know? And football was the one that stuck with our family. I mean, my dad was my first coach ever. And then I had my older brother, of course, which always helps with the competition. So we were very competitive. It's actually 4 boys in our family. So you can only imagine. You know?
All of you play football?
Yes, we all played football at one point.
So is your dad a football player as well?
You know what's funny is my dad's he's a rugby player. He's a rugby player, and then he blew out his knees, but still just kept on playing sports.
I think you got it. And Johan, have you always been wanting to be a football player?
Yeah, same. Since I was a kid, that's the first sport I was enrolled in. I learned in my school in Colegio San Agustin. I think Anton went there also.
Yeah.
It's one of those schools that really has like a nice football culture.
Can we now talk about the Sevens Football League? Because I'm really curious what this is all about.
Well, when it comes down to it, you know, I had been taking some time off of football, and during that time, I missed football. So I figured, why not put together all the players that we can and put together a league. It happened to be 7-a-side because I had a group which we get together Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'd seen Nico Bonzico, when Adrian Semblot was here, Maurice, Chris Johnson, my brother, Freddie Gonzalez, you know, Ali Bormeo. I just up and made phone calls to a bunch of friends and asked them if they could put teams together, and they were able to put the teams together, and I just booked the venue, and boom, we had season 1 ready to go. You know?
So it
Yeah.
started like a friendly game between you and the other players, right?
Exactly. You know, I mean, it was just a bunch of competitive athletes who loved the sport of football, just wanting to get together and just didn't have the opportunity. I mean, out here, there wasn't much opportunity to play consistently out here. When it comes down to 11-a-side, it's much harder to get 11 players or 15 players, technically, is what you would likely look for when playing an 11-a-side game, than getting 7 players together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the sport becomes much more sustainable. We are allowed to fit 4 fields up into one regular size 11-a-side field. So I mean, when it comes down to, I guess, costs and operations and stuff like that, it's what made most sense at that point in time.
So how many teams do you have now in your league?
Well, we started with 8 teams the first season. Now we have, this is just in BGC. We have 22 men's teams. We have 10 women's teams. We have, I think, 54 youth teams, all playing on a Sunday.
This is just in BGC, Turf BGC?
Yes, and then we also have in Muntinlupa, we have 8 teams there. In Bacolod, we have another 67 teams playing.
Oh, wow.
In Iloilo, we have 15 teams playing. In Davao, we have 40 something teams playing. And then in Pampanga, we have 22 or 24.
So how long? I mean, how many teams now? Like 100? 100 teams?
We're at about 250 to 300 teams playing every Sunday, every weekend.
Oh wow! I didn't know that it was that big.
Yes, yeah.
Is your team part of the sevens?
Yeah. Actually, when the sevens was growing, we were one of those teams that really wanted to go in. And I think until now, Anton, correct me, I'm sure there's still teams that want to participate. And I know some provinces also want to have a sevens in their province already. In fact, my players are asking, when are we going to resume?
So is it still open for new teams?
Actually, we've actually had to turn teams down because the main thing is field space and time. So we rent out the field every Sunday at McKinley Hill Stadium, and we go from 10 a.m. until about 11 p.m., 12 p.m. or 12 midnight. Sorry, on a Sunday. So that's the allocated time that we have, and we try to squeeze in as many games possible. Had we squeezed in more teams, we wouldn't be able to get more games in. So yeah.
How about you, Johann? I mean, what is the difference between you just, joining a regular football league as opposed to the sevens? What is so special about the sevens?
I used to play in the UFL, years ago, and it was semi-professional and it was very competitive. But the sevens is different in a way where it's more community-based. The Muntinlupa edition of the sevens, that's where we're in. When we go there, it's like a reunion, It's like, hey, we're playing against you guys on the field. We really battle it out, but after the game, we're having beers already right after. So, it's really fun. It's really fun.
I think that's the best thing about it, is that the community, because we focus a lot on creating an atmosphere. So if you come out to BGC on a Sunday, we'll have the kids playing in the morning to kick off the day, all the way up until about 4 p.m. And then we have the adults take over. But throughout the whole day, we have music going on, we have concessions going on, so then we have beers outside.
It's a party.
I have some parents that stay there. I'll see them at 10 a.m. when we open the doors, and then I'll be walking around at 9 p.m. and they'll still have a beer in hand, drinking away the games.
That's so nice. So what's going to happen to the tournament? I'm sure all the players are actually wondering what's going to happen to the tournament.
Yeah. So everything's on pause. We're up and ready. Once it's announced that games will be able to resume and sports will be able to start being played, then we're going to be looking to do closed door events and focus a lot on digital. So then we'll be doing some live streaming of the games, and we'll be pushing a lot of different content out. We do want to be able to bring the game to the people and the fans in some sort of way. So we'll focus a lot doing live streaming.
But I heard that you're already doing that now during the lockdown.
Oh yes, we're doing. We have a FIFA league that we're doing. We just launched. It's called the 7x7 EFL, which is the electronic football league. We had our first leg for our tournament last week. So what we're looking at doing, we're going to put together 8 different tournaments each week for the next 8 weeks. And then we're going to have each champion battle it out in the 9th week to have a championship cup. So then each champion from each FIFA tournament each week will then play in a championship cup on week 9.
Oh, wow. Can they still join if people are interested? Can they still join this?
Of course, yeah. Well, we're opening up our registrations. We announce everything on our Sevens Football League page, in Instagram and Facebook. So any updates, they can get it there. but yeah, it's nice. You know, we have to figure out a way to be able to innovate, keep football alive while this COVID thing is going on. So we figure, why not do FIFA, right?
If in case the government starts to open team sports, do you think the football players will be raring to go back to the field, or do you feel they'll be hesitant to, it's like a wait and see what happens and make the other teams play first before us?
I mean, well, from my experience, I've spoken to the managers of my team, and they're all ready to get back onto the field. You know, I'm sure there are going to be some people who are quite hesitant, but when it comes down to this, and when it comes down to the virus, right? I mean, I think it's well known now that people who are healthy and in better shape are quite tolerable to the virus. I think that's why maybe they're not so, I guess, not so scared to be able to resume sport. I guess to play against each other, but then they are ready to play, which is good to know.
So everybody's ready to play. That's good news.
Yes.
That's very good news. So Johann, is your team ready? I mean, how do you get in touch with each other? Do you work out?
Well, just like other teams, we have a chat group where we all keep each other updated. Everyone's trying to do some sort of fitness regimen at home, but this thing is just going to be constant adjustments. My boys are ready to play, and anytime we get the go signal from Anton, we're good to go.
So Anton, when are you going to give that signal?
It's all up to the government now, so well, once it's allowed, we'll be out there.
So are you still open for, because I've talked to some people and they say, how do they apply or how do they register if they want to be part of the Sevens League?
Once we open up registration, all the teams know, then it's sort of like a first come, first serve. So the first people who sign up to register are the first teams in.
So where do they register, just in case?
They could get in touch with us via Instagram it's at 7S Ball League, and then they could also email us at Denise DENICE at 7sfl.com. So that's obviously Facebook as well. So we make sure that we check all the messages and stuff like that to make sure that we keep everybody up to date and posted on what's going on.
So people, now's the time because they have the attention, like they'll be checking the Facebook all the time. Hey, Johann, I want to ask you about, I know you're training kids right now, small kids, football.
Yeah.
Are you offering that kind of coaching? Can you tell us more about that?
Well, our team, we had the academy. Every summer we teach kids in our field, but since we're on lockdown, we're doing online coaching where kids from 5 and up can join. The videos are recorded and it's uploaded in a Facebook group twice a week. That's what I'm doing now, and other football academies are doing it as well. Kaya, G8, Football Fanatics. I think it's basically the way to go now since we're on lockdown.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you also have that, Anton? Do you have a training program online?
I was doing training programs with my kid, but then I started seeing that all of the academies were doing it, and it's great that all the academies were doing it. So I want to leave it up to the academies to teach the kids. So then, yeah.
So Johann, why don't you tell the people how to get in touch with you?
For those who wanna try our online program, just look for my club's page on Facebook. It's called Luntian United or Luntian Futsal School. They can also contact me. Just look for Johann Casal, and I'll be sure to message them how to start with the training.
Anton, this is for you. I'd like to ask, what is your view of the football industry, considering that we were attacked by this virus? How do you see football progressing or developing?
Well, hopefully after all of this, things normalize so that people could come out, support our communities that we are looking to build here. If we were all to come together, out here, the football community can be massive, especially if we take it nationwide. But I have a few things that I'm hoping to cook up that could sort of help boost football out here in the country. We might have, I'm hoping that we'll be able to be normalized by October. I'd like to do a 5-week tournament, and this would hopefully include the participations and collaborations with the YFL, the PFL, the CFL, and the UAFL. Then I think we're all going to be coming together to be able to do something good for the football community out there.
I mean, team sports will never die. I don't think it'll ever die. It cannot. Yeah, because we have to represent our country in an international tournament. It's always going to be there, right?
When it comes down to, the effect that it'll have on the football world, I really don't think it'll have that much effect, of course. But once everything's normalized, everything will be back to the same.
If we're going to have tournaments with a fan-less, stadium, how do you think it will affect the performance of the players?
A player's job, before they even see the fans or get onto that field, is to go out there and play. Fanless or with fans, I think they'd still be able to bring in very good competition. If there are no fans here, but we're reaching 1,000 people on Instagram watching your games live, that's 1,000 people technically being fans,
But it's still different, right? Do you plan to go back to football? I mean, as a national player?
Oh, man. I'm a bit over the hill for that. I wouldn't mind giving it one last go. The sevens keeps me very busy, so I don't really have too much time for it. But, during this lockdown, I'm trying to stay in shape.
So do you plan to, I mean, if you were given an opportunity to be part of the national team, what role would you want to, or you just want to do the sevens?
No, I mean, if ever the national team was there, you're not just representing yourself, you're representing a whole country. So if a country asks you, then you should be able to represent. If it was the national team, I would 100%, no hesitation, say okay.
How about you, Johan? What's your view of the future? Do you think it's going to be a good football year in the next 2 years, or?
Well, I'm not sure if it's going to be a good one. All I can see it's going to be an adjusting period one where for the next few months or however long this pandemic will be there, everyone is going to be sort of a wait and see kind of attitude. We're seeing already the Korean League get back, the Bundesliga. I heard the Premier League, the one of the most watched leagues, is going to be back by June, and we're all waiting. How is it going to be? Without the fans, it's going to be interesting. Like what Anton said, athletes were very hard-headed. Just this morning, I saw some gym people protesting in the States. Doing push-ups, working out outside the gym, protesting to go back to the gym. It kind of looked funny, but you can see, this type of people who value their health, value sports, have a passion for moving and being competitive. Nothing's gonna stop us. We're gonna get back there as soon as we can.
I'm glad to hear that the sports people are actually very headstrong. Is there any last words that you might want to tell our viewers? I mean, any encouraging words that you might want to tell them?
What's up, everybody? I hope all of you are staying safe. Sorry. I hope you all are staying safe. I hope you guys are staying healthy. Please stay indoors. Let this pandemic fly over, and soon enough, things will normalize. We'll be able to get some football in, and we'll be enjoying each other's company. You guys take care. Thank you very much for having us as your guests.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for appearing in the episode.
Yeah, of course. And anytime you need any football stuff, feel free to reach out.
How about you, Johan? Do you have any last words?
Yeah, to all the people in the football community out there, stay home. Wait for the government to tell you when you can go out and kick around. Stay healthy, stay fit, because once Anton gives us the go signal, we're gonna battle it out on the field really hard. That's for sure.
We all need to let out that attention, that aggression, man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And it's good news to know that football will be out there very soon. The minute they open the doors, the minute they open the fields, we're back in the game, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
so this is a great episode with Anton and Johan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Audrey. You take care.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks, Audrey. Thanks, Anton. Bye.